everybody. Welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest is the recent winner of the Muscle Mayhem Pro Contest. Legend of the sport, actually. This guy's been winning shows for many years, been on top of his game, and you all know Victor Martinez. Victor Martinez, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the win.
Oh, thank you, Ron. Thank you, Ron. It feels good. It feels good. Again, winning this show, of course, with the support of Muscle Meds, Team Oxygen. Everybody has cleared the room, and very few people have stood by me. And I would stick to only mention those in this interview that stuck by me, because it's been a rough few years, you know. Well, you know that. A lot of people know.
It's interesting that I think, Oxygen Gym and the whole team over there has really breathed new life into the sport. And even for guys like yourself who've been around a very long time, and you've been doing this at the very highest level for so many years, but I find it really cool that, this team of young guys, the trainers, the nutritionists, you get Abdullah, the guy that works with you on your nutrition, Ahmad, the trainer over there, Bader Budai. These guys have all really stepped up, and they're helping out the sport in a big way by not just the up-and-coming athletes over there, but also guys like yourself who've been around. And, in a way, I don't want to give them credit for, like, extending your career, but, here you are, still winning shows, still and looking better and better than you have in so long. What do you want to say about Oxygen Gym, first off?
No, I mean, with them, Ron, you pretty much called it. The young guys, Bader, just, again, when people have a love for something, whether it be a sport, an art, and which I think this is what bodybuilding is both of, is you can't stop them, I mean, these guys came out, Dennis James being one of the first ones going out there, and Bader just taking it and running with it. He goes, I like it, I love it, I'm going to support it. So it's really his support that has gone the long way. He wasn't a big promoter, he wasn't a big, judge or anything like that. We have our supporters here, of course, the leaders starting the whole thing, founding fathers, Jim Mannion, Steve, the guys over here running it. But when you have somebody who's just from the outside on the athlete's standpoint, it's a whole different cow. The Mecca, what was the Mecca? It was California. People used to go out of California. When you got there, even when you got to California, though, you still had to hold your own weight. Yeah. Where that's the big difference when it goes to Oxygen. You go out there, all you have to do is lift your own weights. That's it, They take care of everything else, which is, again, the oasis of training. And that's still not enough. The mental support that comes along with it. They all train hard. They all push us hard. They know we're competing against each other. But the only thing they encourage is, if you train harder than the other guy, the best one will win. And that's ultimately what's good about it, And Bader just kind of sits back. Anything that is needed, he doesn't want it to be a food issue, a travel issue, a focus issue. He wants to take that away from you so you can do it and we can be the athletes that we are. And for that, I'm grateful, and of course, the supplement company that I've been with for over, 16 years, it's without them too. I mean, I tell everybody, that's why I tell athletes, don't buy supplements that don't support athletes, because you could be that athlete that needs a sponsor, and then when you don't have one, you'll kick yourself in the ass by supporting them.
That's funny. So you started the season off with the Arnold Classic South Africa.
Yes.
Didn't go as well as it could have, but you pulled everything together for this show, Muscle Mayhem Pro in Kansas City. What did you do differently between those shows that improved your condition so much?
Yeah, well, working last year with Abdullah, where we nailed the Baltimore Grand Prix, we wanted to repeat that for the South Africa. We were a little bit more conservative, not trying to carb up like we did for the Olympia, and ultimately cost me, a few spots here and there. But still being conservative, again, cost us, not being within the first, top two at South Africa, and back to the drawing board. So what shows were next. I had New York, I had Toronto, and then there was Muscle Mayhem, which was exactly a month away. Now, people say, why do you skip the other two shows? Well, Toronto, simple. Always, because of good on me in my past. You know, they just Canadians give me a hard time getting in there. And with dieting and prepping, I didn't want to deal with that mentally and physically.
Sure.
New York Pro, it's just been a dog-eat-dog chase with that. And I didn't want to fall, you know, the pressure of I'm doing New York Pro. Could I win? Could I possibly win? Are the judges going to side with me? You know, are they going to be biased? Are they going to be fair? And in the end of the day, I said, you know what? Let me get in control. I'm not going to do it. I'm not mentally ready to do it. And I'd rather do something that I want to do. And then it just changed. It changed my whole drive, my whole, you know, just getting up, going to the gym. It felt better, you know, because I didn't have that pressure of New York Pro, you know, doing it so many times and, you know, getting second and thirds and fifths. And so I didn't have that pressure. So getting ready for the Mayhem, I think that was another big part of it, was doing a show without pressure.
Yeah. And, you know, the fact that you've been a pro so long, I mean, you've been a pro almost as long as even, you know, Dexter's only got a couple years on you in the game. But the fact that you're still learning your body and learning how to make these adjustments, do you find that a cool thing that at this stage of the game, you're still able to keep figuring out how to do this better?
Yeah, certain things we have to keep the same, you know. Knowing where you are injury-wise for me, you know, physically-wise, what I'm able to handle weight-wise in the gym, not trying to do something I did in my 20s that I did in my 30s and going to try in my 40s. No, there's certain times for it, and I'm not going to do it unless my body, I know, can handle it. And people will say, you know, hardcore, balls to the walls, this, hard, everything.
Yeah.
Well, balls to the walls is what causes your tears, is what causes you to get injured, and causes you to get within that fine line of in shape to out of shape. You can actually work yourself out to out of shape.
Yeah.
And people don't know that. You can try and get bigger and bigger, and when you're fine at 240, 250, you try to get 260, 270, you're no longer looking good. So I stay within a certain weight now. I manipulate my weight. I manipulate my diet. And that's what my trainer, Victor Munoz, has me do. Let's stimulate the muscle. And when we go heavier, do it for about 2 sets. We don't do failure. We don't try to do anything that's going to, you know, injure or pull on a tendon. And again, I did have slight tears this time around. Again, I didn't make a big spectacle out of it. I didn't announce it. I didn't
even hear a thing.
Oh, yeah. No, shoulder, doing side lateral, doing a big drop set. That pass, lumbar, doing too many reps. Because I don't do powerlifting deadlifts where 4 or 5 plates. I do high rep with 2 1/4, you know, 15, 20 reps. And again, I mean, how many deadlifts can you do without eventually pulling that tight lumbar muscle? And it's happened. I pulled through it. Didn't have to get on the social media and get pity out of it. You know, it's happened. I'm crying in the corner all by myself, and I'm right back in the gym, and that's it. You know, that's what it's about.
So, you know, how is your body holding up? I mean, anybody that's been training as long as you have is going to have aches and pains. You've had some tears. You've had, you know, the biggest thing was probably the knee injury years ago. But
yeah.
Overall, how's your training?
No, training is good. Again, I've been able to manipulate the workouts now. I'm still doing alternative medicine. I still do active release. I still do acupuncture. I still do, you know, the infrared sauna. I still cryotherapy. I mean, you name it, I'm doing it. I do my weekly massages. I'm doing it all before I even wind up. You know, blood work still every 6 months. And you got to check under the hood always and know where you are. I mean, as soon as I feel different, whether I'm training or any type of food I'm eating, right away I put a stop to it and try to get to the source. Because I don't let it fly past a week and get right back onto it. I think the worst thing I had this year is freaking Style from Hell, you know, and that's gone this week, you know. Other than that, but I eat good. I eat good, Ron. I like to eat good food, you know. I like to eat good food. I always tell people this analogy is like, you know, my friend skipped this, you know, Walmart gas station to go to Sunoco, you know, to put good gas in his car. But yet he passes, you know, Bear Burger to go eat at McDonald's. So I'm saying you put worse gas in your body and better gas in your car, you know, like why is that? You know, like I spend money. I want my organic food. I want my good food. Dexter doesn't believe this. I know you don't, Dexter. But certain meats do taste different based on quality. It's a good argument, but it's an easy one to win, you know. But yeah, just again, taking care of yourself, Ron. That's it. You can't, you know. There's a lot of people with so much money and they don't work out. They don't take care of themselves. What good is it if they can't spend it? Be around to spend it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was going to save this question for later, but I mean, you know, your body's holding up really well. The past couple of years, you know, last year the Baltimore show, you don't show any signs of typically what we see with guys in their 40s where they're losing that pop to the muscles, they're losing their legs, saggy skin, and so forth. You know, you'll be 44 next month, I believe, right? July?
Yeah, 44, big 4-4, even
so, you know,
number.
Realistically, if you keep taking care of yourself,
Yes.
stay careful, eating well, all the therapies and stuff, how much longer do you think you could possibly keep doing it?
I mean, like I said before, I mentioned his name. Look at Dexter. Look at Dexter and taking a book from Dexter. Dexter only does what he can handle or what he thinks his body can handle. There was that time when everybody was chasing Ronnie Coleman, the unbelievable Ronnie Coleman, and a lot of people retire because of that.
Look at Ronnie.
I mean, but, you know, comes once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
I always say this. Ask 100 people or 1,000 people, will you go through 2 hip surgery and a couple of back surgeries if you got 8 Mr. Olympias? They said, I would do it 10 times.
5
Me
back.
too.
I think he said 5 spinal surgeries now.
There you go, 5, even more, you know. And I tell you, Ron, right now, 99% of the people will still say, yes, I will go through that because what he did is historical after Lee Haney. And it's I think it's beautiful. And Ronnie is the man, not just because of what he did, because of the person he is, you know.
Yeah.
Great ambassador, you know, to the sport. And injuries do happen. Unfortunately, a lot of times when you're feeling on top, you're feeling that strong, you get these little micro tears and nerve damage that happen under the muscle when you're fully loaded on freaking, you know, supplementation and you're feeling good. Little tweaks you don't feel until later. That one rep you did and you felt that little pull, oh man. You go home that night, the next day you're paying for it, you know. So I know those little tweaks and I know how to avoid them, and a lot of times you can't. And usually handling those heavy weights, if you need a spot, you shouldn't be doing it.
Man, that would eliminate 99% of people out there who are training right now.
Oh man, I'm seeing people doing hump squats. You know, you ever seen those hump squats?
Yes. Yes.
They basically squat down and at the top they hump. I mean, there's a time for humping, Ron. You know, and I don't think squatting is one of them.
I used to have people behind me humping me while I was trying to squat 750 pounds, and that was pretty disgusting.
I mean, all I'm seeing is hip damages going on. You know, people squatting down on a box, sitting down on the box, releasing all that weight on the lumbar, and they're wondering why they're having low back problems. You know, so a lot of things is training. You know, you look at CrossFit. People say, "Oh, I do CrossFit." Okay, you'll probably do it for the next 4 years. Why? Because bodybuilding is the only thing you can do for a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, CrossFitting, you got a lot of swingers, you know, a lot of swingers doing that, you know. And when I'm talking about swinging, I'm not talking about a sexy lifestyle. They're just swinging freaking kettlebells.
What kind of swingers are there?
Kettlebells, man. Come on.
Gotcha. So getting back to the Camel Crew thing for a second, because everybody got a million questions about that.
Yes.
Baltimore, you actually prepared for that show out in Kuwait, correct?
No, you gotta remember, we were getting ready for the New York Pro.
Okay.
Did the New York Pro. I believe I got third last year.
Yeah.
And not happy. Had to crank it up. Went to Kuwait. Came back. Abdullah stayed with me in my home for about 4 weeks at my house for the Baltimore. He stayed, and I said, okay, I'm gonna go back home and we'll do the computer stuff. He goes, computer? No way. I'm coming with you. Packed his bag. I mean, his passion is what made it the most interesting. Because if it was just like whatever, let me see what you look like. Oh, whatever. No, wake up every morning, 6, 7 in the morning, make sure I saw what I looked like before I even knew what I was going to eat, and 11 at night, before he went to bed, he made sure I ate the last meal. And I'm like, this guy's crazy. I love it. It's perfect. And we went to Baltimore, and it was just us. Troubleshooting. We worked together. It wasn't just one-sided. We worked together. What do you think? What should we do? And we worked together, and that's how it worked out. I worked with the best in the past. I did the Char, Chris, and these guys are the best of the best. They have the experience. They have the knowledge. They have the time. Now you're working with somebody that's younger than you. You're kind of, come on, guys. You're questioning yourself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you get somebody that young a chance, and he tends to work with you, not just telling you what to do. It's a whole different ball game, and that's why we worked out together.
Did he come out again to stay with you for the Mayhem show?
No, we worked together for South Africa. Like I said, we got there. We got the shape. We still need a couple of more weeks. We decided to skip to New York to focus on the Baltimore. We kept the same protocol. Kept the diet at a 50% on the carb intake, and we sailed right in. So he wanted to come, but again, he's got a family. Now for the Olympia, it's a different story. You'll be seeing a lot more of him and a lot more videos posted of me and him.
He's pretty new to this nutritionist coaching thing, isn't he?
Relatively speaking. I remember he always had an eye. He was actually one of the ones that first saw Rami with batter. He keeps telling me the story. When Dennis James was there, that's finally that's when he started meeting all the pros, and he's been a bodybuilder physique, and but his passion is show prep. And to be in show prep, you got to be all in it. If somebody's doing show prep and they ask you any question, regardless of carbs and fats and supplementation intake, they can't answer it. I always say that person doesn't know jack. And with Abdullah, you can ask him, and he'll have an answer, based on the short amount of experience, something he might have learned from me, something he might have learned from Dennis, something he might have learned from Rami, George Farah, At the end of the day, we're all working, and as I always say, let the best man win. As far as sabotage, it's happened, but it doesn't happen in Kuwait. Mistakes do happen, but not sabotage on purpose.
Okay. I said I would take some viewer questions.
Yeah, let's go.
Some reader questions. So it's been almost 10 years since the 2007 Mr. Olympia.
Whoa, no.
They still talk about it all the time.
That movie, Forget Paris. Yeah.
I want to know, are you over it yet? Does it still bother you that that's a show that a lot of people say Martinez should have been the Mr. Olympia that year?
Yes. Could have, should have. Would have changed my life, I just want to know who were those judges that didn't put me in first, so when I win the lottery, they will not get any money at all. The ones that got me first, don't worry, guys, I got you.
Oh,
but it was forgotten as soon as I got to the party.
Okay, cool.
I got to the party that night, the Olympia, I think I drank a bottle of Dom P, thanks to my friend Steve, at the time he was running the club. Actually a party with Steve Blackman too, I remember that weekend. But I think Steve took it hard. Gerard took it even harder. My fans took it hard, my family. at the end of the day, if bitching got you first place, Sean Ray will be 20-time Mr. Olympia.
Oh shit!
You
You
know?
and a lot of other guys.
Yeah, a lot of other guys, but it's done. It's done. I mean, I leave the voice to my fans.
Yeah.
I leave the voice up to them because if I kept repeating that over and over, oh man, Mr. Olympia, it's like trying to, you know, those failed attempts to catch Hannibal Lecter, you know, going back and forth. But it happened. I moved on. You know, it hurt. And the only times it reminds me is when people ask questions like now. But other than that,
sorry, man.
I'm beyond that. No, I'm beyond that. It's happened. I did great. I felt good. The only time I really felt before I got to a show that I had a show, and they just, little biasness and a little, judge's preference, just basically end somebody's dream. It wasn't a person that ended the dream. It wasn't Jay.
Yeah.
Because Jay knew too and stuff, So I'm not going to be here talking bad about Jay. Not once have I ever spoken bad about Jay,
No, never did.
Other than saying he's 3-time Mr. Olympia.
4-time. 3-time. Oh, shit. Another thing people wanted to know is, I forgot what year the whole immigration issue was. Was that 13 into 14, I want to say?
That was 20, ended in 12.
Okay.
11 to 12.
So, people ask, they want to know, what was it like? It was a 9-month process, I believe.
8,
8
7 and 3 weeks.
So, you were still, when you got out, you weren't as the size of a normal person. You still were larger than the regular person. But what was it like for you going in at like 260, 270, top? You had just won the Arnold Europe, I believe, right? And then, to watch your body sort of go down, lose all that muscle mass and gain body fat. What was it like?
Well, it's always, I always had a perspective to jail, If you don't take care of yourself in the street and you're a crackhead, you go to jail, you always come out good. You always come out big. People always just say, wow, look, Johnny came out big. Well, he was a crackhead out here.
Yeah.
And when we take care of ourselves inside and we go inside, we come out skinny. They're like, yo, what happened? Were you doing crack in there? It's like, no, we just get less of what we need to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got to say, to all the CEOs that took care of me, you guys were great, bringing me all that extra food. And I hope the warden hears that, because they were such haters, man. I got my pizza. I got my, arroz con pollo.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got my I could say that statute of limitations passed by. I just can't say too much, because it's Trump era. So I'm just gonna keep it a little quiet on that, But it was great, and I'm glad you guys didn't get in trouble, and I stopped you from doing that, so you would get in trouble. But that's what it is, Ron.
Yeah.
You take care of yourself inside, you're gonna come out looking like crap. You don't take care of yourself, if you don't take care of yourself outside, you're gonna come out looking good, because outside you're crackhead eating one meal, inside you're eating 3 freaking junior high school meals.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's no weights. There's no weights anymore. I think a lot of the states stopped that. They don't want inmates getting stronger than, correction officers. Correction officers should be in shape.
Right.
Police officers should be in shape, but when the inmate has nothing but time and they can grow, they don't like that. So a lot of jail systems remove that. Weights, next thing you know, is higher education is probably coming to next,
Yeah.
With the jail business, as I say, it's a business. It's not a real therapy thing. It's a business, I mean, you got to remember, still 85% of Black and Hispanics are the ones in the jail system. And U.S., has the most in the world incarcerated. And
well, you pointed this out, and I want people to know, because, I got just a tiny, tiny glimpse of it. These are privately owned jails, and they're for-profit.
Yes.
It's not like a state-run thing anymore.
I mean, when you're buying a Snickers bar for like $2.50, I mean, come on now.
The phone, I mean, to call you, to buy, to anybody to talk to an an inmate.
Call. You're paying the average fee of a cell phone bill on the street to make calls for a single week.
Yeah.
Well, you pay a month, you pay that in a week. Yeah. And it's all a scam, you know, it's all a scam. There's a lot of Republicans, Democrats, they all have their hands dibs in it. And the reason I found out is because I said, wow, you know, hey, I could get a protein bar into the commissary. And they said, no, it's controlled. It's controlled by the senator. The senator basically gives his people dibs to sell, and the senator and gets a cut, you know, government and Governor Christie and all these people, they all get a cut. Everybody gets a kickback, you know. So when you get arrested for smoking a joint and going to jail, just became a contribution to their pocket, you know. And that's why, you know, you're having all these politicians now trying to make a big deal out of marijuana, you know. You know, it's bad, and it's gonna keep going, you know. But hopefully down the road, people will start getting in less trouble, and then they'll find another reason to incarcerate people. You know, like jaywalking and shit like that, you know.
Well, I know that I know you come to Massachusetts fairly often.
Yes,
you have a child here now, and we just legalized recreational use last November. So
they did.
You didn't know that we legalized it here?
They did.
They did. But you can't buy it here. You can use it. You can have it, but you can't buy it.
My friend is the landlord for the only freaking store they have there.
Yeah, there's one.
He's the landlord, so it's
wow. Nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, but and it's gonna keep going down. You know, you gotta remember, Prohibition created a lot of rich senators and families that have been presidents. Prohibition.
The Kennedy family.
Yeah. You know, just to name one, really. Yeah. Just to name one, because in reality, there's hundreds of families. You know, you go down from slavery, prohibition, heroin, coke, marijuana.
Yeah.
Those are the same people that sold they are running our governments, but now they're restricting, you know, minorities, because minorities are into it now.
Right.
That can't happen. You know, I'm only an alien here. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You know, I'm an alien. You know.
You're.
I only have a green card.
Well, yeah, you're still a Dominican citizen, right?
Yeah.
Technically.
Dominican way, plátano power, man.
Plátano,
you know?
I saw that. There was what you're referring to, so people understand, is there's a picture of you, Juan Morel, and John De La Rosa in the gym together, and you had up a pic, like a poster board that said Plátano power, right?
Yeah. It's basically a fruit of the nation, and you know, I'm not one to believe much in freedom of speech, because you get in trouble in this country, man. This is like Iran and shit when it comes to it. All you can say is a statement. I only say statements, maybe, and never repeat what I see in the news. And as far as opinions, only on bodybuilding. That's it. And what I lived through, like jail, you know, I can speak about it because it's through experience. Yeah. Nothing I'm making up. What I saw, what I experienced, that's it, man. You got to be careful now with this social media in this day and age, man.
True.
You know?
Well, I want to switch to something way more positive. You've been involved with a charity organization called Autism Speaks for quite a while now.
Autism Speaks. When you guys come to the Victor Martinez Legends, August 26th, always give proceeds to Autism Speaks. You know, two of my sons, the autistic, great boys, not a bad bone in their body, you know, nothing like me, better than me. And also the Christian Rivera Foundation, you know, for Pantene glaucoma. You know, many kids that get usually the brain ailment usually die within the first 3 or 4 years. And my friend Gungi Rivera started this, and it's something different I wanted to do. You know, one of the things I grew up just like my mom. My mom would have never been rich because she was such a giver. And me, I like to give just a little bit back, you know, because I want to pat myself on the shoulder, not at all. Because when I see stuff on TV, donate, I don't like donating to big corporations, you know. So all I can do is do my part. And that's what I do for my part. I give a little bit back to a good cause, you know, two good causes. And also the Family and Children's Services on New Jersey, FACTS, New Jersey, help underprivileged kids. This is stuff that I like to do when I give time. I don't have much money, but I do make the time to do that. You know, I love kids. If I was a millionaire, I have 5 more and have my own freaking, soccer team. You know.
Tell everyone about this event in August, though. I want to make sure people know about it.
Yes, the Victor Martinez Legends is running on its 3rd year. It's a national qualifier now. So please, I invite everyone from South America, Central America, the Caribbean, China, Japan, Europe, the Middle East. It's a local show. I advertise it, as an international. Why? Because of the experience you get to have. You get to compete in the Bronx. That's what's up. Good in the Bronx. Don't worry, guys. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Just say my name. You'll probably get handed a bag or something. But other than that, I want to have it in the Bronx. I want bodybuilders, athletes to experience, what it's like to compete in the MPC, what it's like to compete in New York City, and in one of the toughest neighborhoods that's changing. To date, is changing fast, because the Bronx is the lowest paying tax borough in the city, so they kind of get a little bit backdrafted. Yeah, that's why I want to keep it there, because just because the Bronx was hard, hip hop started there, salsa grew there, breakdancing pretty much was bred there, and I love the Bronx. So guys, please come to the Bronx. It won't be too far from Yankee Stadium, Hostos Community College, August 26th. Steve Weinberger Productions, Victor Martinez, V-Shape Rising Production. And let's have some fun. Come on.
So the info is on, I believe, mpcnortheast.com.
So go to VictorMartinezLegends.com.
VictorMartinezLegends.com, everybody.
Yeah, and also on MPCNewsOnline.com.
Okay.
You'll see that there.
When I saw you back at the Arnold, you were talking about maybe opening up another gym.
Oh.
So tell me what's going on.
Ron, I try. I keep looking.
Yeah.
With the high rents in New York, landlords basically want you to sign your life over. Yeah. It's difficult. It's difficult because overhead. Yeah. You got the gyms, and then you got the fitness centers. Yeah. Gyms. Ask the people what a gym is. Most people still don't know. I'm going to a fitness center. They know that because they want to go to Planet Fitness. And they want to pay, the $10 a month, right. Do a couple of jumping jacks and eat pizza. That's fine. That's your preference. That's cool. But I wanted to go back to the old school gym. And my friend actually opened one in New York. He actually called the gym, John Pena. And it's downtown on Mulberry Street. He went back to the old gym concept, but still it's not in. I want to center it in Manhattan, and we're looking at rents. These people are asking for $40,000, $50,000, $60,000
a month.
A month.
Every month.
Every month. Oh yes. So it's difficult. Am I giving up? Not at all. I will find a hole in the wall because I'm looking to do an actual gym, not a center, not a club, not a. You're lucky if you have a single shower. But at the end of the day, all I want is to inspire people, motivate people, and get people in shape. Regardless of who steps in that door, not a single person will be ignored because they don't have a trainer. Okay, they can't afford a trainer. I want to have, it's going to be different. And I'm still looking, but right now focusing on this Olympia and training kind of limits the amount of time I can put on the field looking for it. And of course, 5 kids, Ron, come on.
Yeah,
5 kids. You know how it is. You know how it is, Big Daddy.
Well, I stopped at 2, so I'm a little wimpy compared to.
Yeah. What time are you getting your daughter from school today? I'll get my daughter at 2:30.
Okay. I'll get this moving then. So, are you shutting everything down to the Olympia? This is it. This is it for today. Right?
Shutting down. There really is a complete shutting down. I will slow down for probably about 2-3 weeks because right now I believe we are 11 weeks.
Yeah, something like that.
11, 12 weeks, So right now it's just to get my body back to its rebound and not have a crazy 40-pound rebound. Yeah. I'm looking for a realistic 20 to stay within my focal point weight to be in the Olympia, Now, it's the Olympia, again, that chase of mass. You see that picture of Rami the other day?
Yes, yes. That's a big fucker.
People ask me, is he eating plátano? I was like, he's eating fucking plátanos from a camel or something because,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, he's having freaking camel egg whites. I don't know. But it's great. It's great. I know where he's at. You know, I've been there. I think it's beautiful, and the support he has. He basically now brought in an entire half of the world getting more into the whole bodybuilding and Olympia, which is great. That's what it should be about.
Yeah.
You know, have somebody from the different neck of the woods and just making this organization grow. The IFBB. IFBB is beautiful. I know. A lot of times people, you know, you got to talk about this, you know, but not in a mocking way or disrespectful way. You know, judging, it happens crazy, you know, judging happens, you know,
Yeah.
and it's biased. It's not running for points. Like once I believe Lee Priest said we should race to the end. If you know, we should have a race, 100-meter dash. If it's either by a 1-point win, and that way the person that gets there first wins.
Yep.
But it's marketing. It's what's promotable. It's what looks good. You know.
Yeah.
You had a lot of people. You know, you had Kai not competing. It leaves a lot of people at a loss. You know, because people want to see Kai compete, but people got to understand how Kai has felt giving it his all and not being in that top spot. So has he been fair? And the only control he has is not doing the show.
Right.
So you got to respect that of him. You know, at the end of the day, us bodybuilders, I mean, you calling this me having a voice? No, I'm just speaking again what I've done, what I'm about to do, what I'm going to do. I'm not speaking on the behalf of the organization. That's a whole other cow. We don't have a voice. You fans have the voice. You fans can speak for us. You fans can say anything you want. You know,
Yeah.
Me as a competitor will never put down another athlete because of his placing. Me as a competitor will not put another athlete because I'm ahead of him or behind him.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's grinding, he's killing it. If he thinks he's the best in the world, that's a mentality that most people should have. That's the confident, you know. A lot of times I didn't believe in myself. I had guys like Victor Munoz believe in me more than me. Steve Blackman, Gerard Dente, Steve Weinberg, you know, keep going down the line. Abdullah, Bader Boldai. I mean, these are guys that saw me at the bottom, coming out, you know, no phone calls, no nothing. Come, Vic, come. Come to my house. We're going to take care of you. And you put your head down, and as you keep step by step walking into that gym, your head rises. And after that, you say, you know what? I don't care what happens because I'm home now. I'm home. I'm confident. And whatever placing I get, I know I'm better now than I was before. And Ron, that's, you know, so the people that get this, you know, they want to quit because of judging. I mean, you should be doing this for yourself. I mean, if you're looking for a pot of gold in bodybuilding because you think you're the best, I mean, that's on you, man. Yeah. Great expectations lead to great disappointments. You know?
Yeah.
Just don't mock the game, man. You know, don't hate the game. Hate the, you know, hate the players.
Well, I don't think there's anything I could ask you that would really be more meaningful than that. So I want to end it on something wise, like you just did. So I want to congratulate you one more time on yet another win. Amazing to see you still doing so well. I'm so happy that you are still doing so well after all these years. And so many guys you start out competing with as a pro, they're long gone, but you're still here, you're still doing it. And you're still at the top of your game. And you know, you inspire a ton of people because you've been through so much and you don't give up. You keep coming back, get knocked down, get back up, get knocked down, get back up over and over again. I can't think of anybody that's been knocked down in so many ways as you have, and here you still are, and you're still putting out 100%. So thank you from me, from everyone else that you've inspired. It's really been quite a fun ride watching you all these years.
Thank you, Ron. Yeah, yeah. I remember a lot of people don't know, but the battles I had was with myself. You know, I didn't like myself. I love my kids more. That makes me love myself.
Yeah.
I didn't like myself. I saw a picture of me. Was saying you look great. No, I don't. I look like shit. You know, so it's a lot of battles was within me, and a lot of those battles are within the bodybuilders themselves. And if you win that battle with yourself, man, just look forward to having better, brighter days, and you know, having people like you cover the shows and being unbiased and calling it like it is. Not choosing sides, knowing that somebody can be better, not saying they lost and they're always going to suck. I mean, there's always room for better. There's always room for better, and I thank you. I thank the fans. You know, Eva Supplements for always feeding me, Muscle Mans for giving me the chance, and, you know, being at a steady home for many years, Muscle Mans, MHP, and everybody in the MPC, IFBB. I mean, you know, love, hate, but more love than anything, you know, regardless.
Cool. All right. So for the Ronline Report, this has been the one and only Victor Martinez. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.